for man and dog to calm down. "It looks like it worked out for the two of you. I knew it would. And thank you so much, Madam President, for sending me all those pictures over the internet." The President swallowed and nodded. "Everyone loves her. She visits all the offices, and I think it's safe to say that everyone here is her friend. She loves romping on the South Lawn. She likes Air Force One, and she absolutely loves the helicopter. She adjusted well, but she did miss you. We talked about you every single day. I promise you I wouldn't let her forget you, and it looks to me like you're front and center." Her eyes started to burn again. Gus finished his coffee, motioned for the dog to jump off his lap, which she did. "I have to get back. My nurses are waiting for me outside. I promised I wouldn't. They just let me out because Never mind. It's not important." "You're not taking Cleo with you?" the President blurted. "Oh, no, ma'am. Is that why you thought I came here? I'd cut off my right arm to take her, but I can't. I've got 2 more operations to go, then months and months of therapy ahead of me. Right now, I am so full of pain pills that I can hardly see straight. There's no way I could take care of Cleo, and these are her retirement years. She certainly doesn't need to be taking care of me. I have way too much on my plate right now. The doctors told me that if there was a way for you to bring her by from time to time, they would allow it." The President's insides turned to mush. "Consider it done. Would 3 times a week work for you?" "Yes, sirree. That would work for me, Madam President. Lord, I can't thank you enough for that." "Listen, Gus, how about if I leave you 2 alone for a few minutes? I think you might want to explain the situation to Cleo, although I think she already knows." The President literally ran to the small powder room off the sitting room and closed the door. Her shoulders heaved as she tried to stifle her sobs of gratitude now that Cleo was going to stay with her. She dropped to her knees and offered up a prayer, a very short one but straight from her heart. Though her eyes were dry when she walked back into the room, they still burned. "Gus, I know this is short notice and I don't know what kind of restrictions your doctors have on you, but I'd like to invite you to Camp David for Thanksgiving. Since this is August, I'm hoping you will be well on the road to recovery by then. If, for whatever reason, we can't make that work, how about we plan for you to join Cleo and me over the Christmas holidays at Camp David?" Cleo pranced and danced around Gus, urging him to comment. "I'll see what I can do, Madam President, and I thank you for the invitation. Thanks for everything," he said, suddenly shy. "Don't mention it. And here we're just 2 people who love this dog. I'll have my secretary make arrangements for Cleo to visit. You take care of yourself, you hear?" Gus nodded. "Cleo, I want you to give Gus a presidential escort out of this glorious building. Can you do that?" She hated seeing the look of pain on her guest's face. She wondered if his medication was beginning to wear off. Cleo looked first at the President, then at Gus before she dropped her head and her 2 front legs and bowed. Gus laughed. "I taught her that little trick in Iraq." And she remembered. The President opened the door. The 2 Marines who had escorted Gus to her quarters fell into line until the President said, "No, Cleo will do the honors, gentlemen. She can find her way back." The President waited in the open doorway for a full 10 minutes until she saw her best friend trotting down the hall. Cleo let loose with a joyous bark and bounded into the room. She stopped in the middle of the sitting room, threw her head back, let out a loud howl, and flopped down and rolled over. She was on her feet in an instant as she waited for the treat she'd just earned. The President laughed and handed it over. "Time to go to work, Cleo. We've got some serious business to deal with this morning. I think we're going to be able to make it work. I am the President, so it better work." Cleo made a short, high-pitched barking sound that said she understood perfectly, and it was time to get their respective shows on the road. Martine Connor wondered if she'd made a mistake in holding this meeting in the Oval Office instead of the Situation Room. She could still change her mind. Actually, if it hadn't been November, she could have held the meeting outdoors, under one of the arbors. While it was brisk outside, the temperature, according to the weatherman, was in the high 50s. Definitely.